At the age of 17, Liangzi burst into my world. He was only 1 month older than me. But during the youthful period full of dreams and innocence, he became my warmest support. The playground behind the school was our secret base. He always held my hand and accompanied me to run freely. The wind whistled in our ears, and our laughter drifted away with it. Whenever I had conflicts with my parents, he would always give me a warm hug and let me pour out my grievances on his shoulders. In that innocent and beautiful age, we were full of fantasies about love. Even those slightly ambiguous topics were carefully explored with shyness and curiosity. After the evening self-study, the playground was shrouded in deep night. We held hands and seemingly talked calmly about things that were still strange to us. But our slightly trembling fingertips betrayed our nervousness. At lunch the next day, as we sat face to face, there was a hint of unease in our eyes. Yet we smiled knowingly. At that moment, a bold idea germinated in my heart. Blushing, I whispered to him, "When I turn 18, let's spend the night together. I want you to help me complete my coming out of age ceremony." His face instantly turned bright red, from the tips of his ears all the way to his forehead. Looking at his shy appearance, my heart was filled with anticipation. 3 months before the college entrance examination, my 18th birthday arrived as scheduled. I took a careful bath at home and put on new clothes. In the mirror, I saw myself with a touch of nervousness and excitement. I dialed Liangzi's phone number. On the other end of the line, he was breathing heavily and even stuttered a bit. When we met at the appointed place, we were both dressed in brand new clothes. Looking at each other, the shyness and nervousness in our eyes were obvious. We took out our saved pocket money, unfolded, and sorted it one by one. Every action was filled with unprecedented solemnity. Liangzi held the money tightly in one hand and took mine with the others. Like two children secretly doing something wrong, we tiptoed into a hotel. His hands were constantly sweating, and my palms were already soaked. When checking in, I nervously turned my back and hid aside, fearing that the hotel staff could tell from the ID card that Liangzi had just turned 18. Finally, we successfully got the room card and entered the room that carried our anticipation and unease. As soon as we entered the room, Liangzi rushed into the bathroom in a hurry. Immediately afterwards, the sound of rushing water came out, hitting my eardrums one after another and making my heart beat even faster. I sat on the edge of the bed, unconsciously pinching the corners of my clothes, and my heart was pounding like a little deer. Getting into the bed, thinking about what might happen next, my face instantly burned hot. However, everything changed after 10 odd minutes when Liangzi came out of the bathroom. There were tears on his face. I rushed over in a panic. He hugged me tightly and said in a trembling voice, "Anne, let's go back. I don't want to hurt you. We still have the college entrance examination." At that moment, my heart was filled with mixed feelings, and I nodded silently. We silently put on our clothes and left the hotel. In the following days, we still held hands and walked and laughed on the playground. But everything about that night was tacitly buried deep in our hearts. Many years later, by chance, I thought of Liangzi's back in the hotel that night again. It was the back I had silently watched. From that moment on, he was no longer that young and green boy, but had grown into a responsible man. It turned out that my 18-year-old coming out of age ceremony had also led to his transformation and growth.